What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Wrench Heads. So today I need to apologize to you, just like I did in the short. I've been a little hyper excited, like a newbie YouTuber, and I have not been recording any of the work that I've been doing on the bike. But I'm going to catch you up with it right here and right now. Let's go. So as you can tell, I have a towel over the tank and I have the tarp on the back end. That's only because it's kind of a on and off rainy day. It seems like it stopped, but just in case it does decide to start again, I will have a quick and easy way to get the bike covered up. So starting up top, I do have the Clever Lever, which I mentioned. That is a mod that a lot of people tend to do on these bikes. One reason is that they drill a hole further up to put more tension on the clutch cables. But having put a brand new clutch pack into the bike, which again, I'm sorry I did not record, but I will link you down to a really good video that shows you what and how to do that. With the new clutch pack kit, you no longer need that extended drill spot. You can go back to the original mounting point of the clutch cable. However, in trying to swap back the custom OEM handle, I did find that with this beefier, bigger handle, it actually gives you a little bit more consistent clutch control when riding the bike. So this is a classic handle and the brake lever side is a custom handle. I did order a custom handle to replace because I have this weird thing about things matching. Speaking of which, as you notice, my handlebars are different from last time. These are Batwing Ape hangers. They are 10-inch high with I believe is an 8-degree sweep coming backwards. It's really comfortable for me, just slightly below shoulder, which is perfect. The other thing that I ordered were these side view mirrors with these handlebar mirrors. They come with these little adapters to push them out. And then in order to mount them, the bar is hollow and you use this screw. And what it has a flare set on the inside. So as you draw it in, those pegs or flares widen out and grab onto the inside the bar, and it doesn't go nowhere. This one is also dual adjustable on the rear, so I can actually loosen this and flip it up, but I wanted a lot less junk in my line of sight. I really like that style. So the one thing is that you will need some sort of a driver tool to crank on it to get it nice and tight, because doing it by hand just won't cut it. So one piece of advice with these handlebars or any other aftermarket handlebars for this specific bike that I know of, for your throttle side and with the ignition, there is like a little tab back here that sinks into the handlebar. So you will have to drill a hole into the back end of your handlebar to get your ignition to screw all the way down so it doesn't move around while you're driving. So that's something that you'll have to keep in mind if you are not familiar with what you have to do. It's very, very simple. Just get a screwdriver, an electric screwdriver, find the correct drill bit that fits into the hole of the previous handlebars, and then basically just carry that over to the new one. What you want to do is take this, mock it up. So what I did was I slid this on all the way to see where it stopped. And then I took a paint pen and I marked right behind where that notch is, removed it, drilled the hole, popped it back on. Like again, I apologize for not having recorded ahead of time, because it would have been really nice to see me do. For those of you who are, similar to me, where you want to see it done before doing it. But other than that, I cleaned the bike up. Last time I posted a reel on that on Instagram. And as of right now, everything else has been good. Been driving the bike has been really, really fun. But that's enough wasting time. Let's get to work. So as you guys see, the top of these are going to be Allen head keys, and then the bottom are going to be your regular hex bolts. I'm not sure what size they are yet. They look like they might be 16 or 17s, but we'll figure it out when we get there. As far as the OEM ones, like I said before, I did drop the bike the first day I got it. So that is why this right side is a little bit bent. It did make for some issue with me getting the handlebars in. So they're not sitting 100% flush, but I tightened it down as much as I could to make it safe. I did speak with a shop to find out if it was an alignment issue or if it was just a damage issue. And from what they explained to me, these triple trees rarely, hardly ever need an alignment unless you've done some severe damage. And in that case, you'd probably need your front fork set replaced. So what we're going to do is this top set has to come off, this cap, and then we're going to come around and take this lower bolt off. There are bushings inside here to keep this all straight, and you see how far this is the bottom. This is the bottom portion of the riser. So we're gonna see how much higher or lower this makes it. It should be okay. The bushing should be all right. I haven't had a whole lot of movement or anything while riding the bike. Actually, I've had no movement, which is good. So that tells me that this is just bent, or it could be just the screw itself that's bent. But next step is getting it done. So I will not be able to record actively what I'm doing because I don't know what I did with my tripod. So here we go. All right, guys. So here we have the two risers. So I don't know how well you can tell, but you see that curve right there on the top? It's very so slight. You see it pushing over. So the bolt itself was what twisted. You see this one is slightly bent as well, but it's not as bad as the other one. So when I dropped the bike, so this is the one that was on the right side, the handlebar came towards me. So that explains why this one is bent towards me more so than the other side being a little bit more pushed forward, or even, I would say this one's probably a little bit more true. So I did the same thing over here. Got the cap. All right, actually, let me spray that again. So just a little bit of blaster, let it soak in there. A little bit of weatherproofing to help it in the future. Put that little rubber boot back on. Now it's literally going to be as simple as taking this, setting it on top, and then the bolt will come in from underneath, and then that'll be it. All right, so all this is right here, this little trim piece right here, this helps keeps your wires in place. So if you want to remove yours, go ahead. I'm going to leave mine on, but I'll bring you right back. All right, guys, so now I've got both the risers in and bolted, but they are still movable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my handlebars, I'm going to drop them in place to make sure that they are both aligned, and then I'll put the caps on. Once I get the caps on, then I'll come down and then I'll torque them down. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are finito. So here we go, nice and even. I don't know how well you can tell. Let me hop on a bike real quick. Okay. So they're nice and even now. Obviously nothing is going to be perfectly even, but I did need to have a little bit of help from the wifey to kind of hold the bike straight up so that the one side didn't sag over the other. So the one thing with these aftermarket ones is that because the bolts are not sized to the sleeve on the inside, you will have a little bit of play as you tighten it up. So what I did was I got these started. I got the handlebars set in place. I had my assistant just hold things forward as centered as possible, right? And then I tightened everything down from the bottom. I torqued these down to about 10 foot-pounds, which was good, which is like basically nothing, seeing as these are billet aluminum, which they should be stronger, but I didn't want to destroy those bolts or damage my new hardware. So the one thing I did do last time was with the older risers, I did have to shave off some of the black powder coating. So I might have to go back and spray paint that or try to cover it up with like a paint pen or something. But everything said and done, looks pretty good. Now there's a straight. So now as I'm driving, what I should not have is I should not have to exert more pressure on this side when I'm trying to turn right. So that is it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and follow. And as always, Wrench Daily.